Are you tired of looking at this dark, shadowy image every time we're talking about Model Y and what it's going to look like and so forth? Well, good news. Elon Musk just tweeted and told all of us we don't have to do that anymore. In about 2 weeks, we'll find out pretty much everything about it. So I'll tell you about his tweet, what he's promising, what he's not promising, and another pretty big announcement he kind of squeezed in there as well. We'll talk about it all coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. So all you have to do to stay up to date on all of that is click on that subscribe button down there, so that way you won't miss anything moving forward and become a part of this amazing community, which you can see in the comment section. All right, so let's talk about it. So the tweet that Elon Musk put out there today, a few of them actually, a little after 2 o'clock, that Model Y unveiling will take place on March 14th in Los Angeles Design Studio. Now, I believe originally he promised it like March 15th, so pretty much on target, which is pretty rare for him. So kudos. Obviously, Model Y, as he's predicting, and I believe that this will be probably the most sold electric car once the production ramps up. Obviously, this could also maybe take some customers away from the Model 3, but I think that they kind of knew that. Now, he also tweeted that Model Y, being an SUV, is about 10% bigger than Model 3. I'm assuming it's pretty much going up, obviously. So will cost about 10% more, fair enough, and have slightly less range for same battery. So I would say this means that the cost is going to be about $39. And I think that's what everybody expected. Still, as long as it's under 40, I think that's pretty fair. The difference between Model S and Model X is also about 5. So difference being between Model 3 and Model Y about 4 would also be fair. And yeah, 10% less range is fine. So I'm assuming that even the base model would go. So what is it for the Model 3? 210 to 20. So if it's still around 200, I think it's still going to be very much acceptable. So that's great. Now, don't forget, by then there will of course be competition for by the time they're making them, which I believe is going to be sometime in 2020. Now, the competition, of course, is going to come from Kia Niro EV and Hyundai Kona. Then by then we'll have their production already ramped up, and a lot of people sort of opting out for that. And of course, they will have the probably still full incentives here, the tax credit here in the United States, and Tesla will not have any unless anything changes, which I don't think it will. And then another tweet was about pretty much about the event. It says detailed specs and pricing will be provided as well as test rides in Model Y. Now, by the way, as far as test rides are concerned, I just been to their boring event, and they promised us test rides there, and majority of people have not received test rides, so I wouldn't hold your breath if you're going. I'm not really sure if I'm going to go. I think unless I get a press pass, which is not very likely. Tesla has not given me Tesla is really the only company that has not given me a press pass to any of their events. So I'm not really expecting that to start now. And yeah, I'm not really quite sure if I will be attending, because the problem with their events is that, well, not only you have to pay for your travel, which is not the case for pretty much any other brand, but on top of that, you can't really do reporting from there because first of all, if you don't have a media pass, you don't even have the area and the permission. Secondly, they play a lot of music there that's not obviously allowed for us YouTubers to have in our videos, and then you can't go live there for the exactly same reason, and you don't have as much access. So I think I'm not really sure if I'm going to skip it and just report it from here, which I think will be just as good and probably faster. But if I do go, I will try to do something unique, obviously. Now there's another by the way, there's another pick. First of all, as we know from this angle, I don't know, not as many people know about this one, but they did release it at some point. I don't think it's giving us that much of an idea, but I think we kind of all know what it's going to look like. But there's another tweet about Elon also said that first public Tesla version 3 Supercharger station goes live on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. So to me, it's actually almost just as exciting because, Electrify America, Ionity, and many other networks are kind of bypassed Tesla with the charging rate at Electrify America and Ionity. They can do up to 350 kilowatts. Obviously, there are no cars to charge at that rate, But nevertheless, now, Elon did not answer any of the questions about, what the charging rate is going to be. But of course, the bigger question is, will the cars that are being made right now be able to even benefit from that? I think we've already seen a Tesla Model 3 in Europe that was trying to charge at the CCS charger that's able to charge to up to 150 kilowatts, and I think that only went to 125. So it looks like even the latest Teslas may not be able to benefit from the superchargers of the V3, which I'm expecting is going to be at least 150 kilowatts, but hopefully around 200 kilowatts. So maybe these two announcements are kind of together, because maybe Model Y will be the first car that will have the capability, though that would still be kind of weird, because I would expect that they will start making cars that they're making right now compatible with V3. Once again, that would be great, but we'll see from the announcement. All right, so let's talk about positives and negatives, which I think there are quite a few on both sides. Before that, of course, I want to mention this video and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for all Teslas. There is a discount code in the description of this video. Go ahead and grab it. That way you can save yourselves a few bucks. All right, so let's talk about positives and negatives. All right, so obviously the positive is, finally the wait is over. We're going to know what this car is going to look like. It's supposed to be the most, desirable electric car ever, even above Model 3, because people just love compact SUVs here in the United States and in Europe and in China. So this should be a big hit. Obviously, there will be some competition, but nevertheless, obviously, everybody is expecting Tesla to kind of be a leader and at least catch up and pass everybody with that. We'll see. Obviously, the price is attractive if it's going to start under 40,000 US dollars. We don't know how long it's going to take. I'm hoping faster than with the Model 3, because I believe 75% of this car is going to be made out of the same parts as the Model 3. As a matter of fact, they might even be making those cars partially on the same lines, production lines. They're saying that this is they're going to be making it, I believe, in a Gigafactory in Nevada, and then obviously in the new factory in China, and that should give them, of course, better margins between both cars, obviously, right? If they're reusing all of the tools and equipment and skilled workers and stuff like that. So all of that is definitely positives, and the fact that the announcement came on time, that's also good stuff, like, right? We really don't get that from Elon very often. And the Model 3 current $35,000 Model 3 announcement also came, as a lot of people thought, early as far as his third promise is concerned. But nevertheless, like, listen, timing is important, and it's good to see them giving this stuff, doing this on time. Now, there are a couple of negatives to talk about, and of course the first one would be, will it take away from sales of Model 3? Obviously, they're trying to push forward, and I know they're probably not going to be profitable in Q1 as I expected, at least, but they do want to be profitable for the rest of the year and for the year altogether. And, they got to be selling a lot of these Model 3s, and if people are going to be opting out for the Model Y, and I expect them to start taking reservations for the Model Y pretty much at the same time as they unveil it, it could definitely, give them some trouble. Obviously, the second thing is, and it's not really negative, it's just how it is. By the time they're going to launch a Model Y and start, ramping up the production, that's probably going to be at the end of 2020. So we're talking about almost 2 years from now. Kia Niro EV and Hyundai Kona EV and there are quite a few other cars that are coming on the market, can really steal the spotlight, and the customers, don't forget, those cars are going to be up for, leasing right away. And I expect Model Y not to be up for lease right away. And, obviously they're going to produce the most expensive version first and go into the cheaper version first, which you don't really get most of the time from the legacy manufacturers like Kia and Hyundai. So, this is not going to be an easy road for this one, but it is still pretty exciting that we're going to, finally figure out what it looks like, what the specs are, and, don't think we're going to be in for too many surprises, but you never know with Elon, right? And of course, the big announcement about the superchargers. I think I'm going to make another video about it once we know a little bit more details. But that's obviously exciting, and I think without more details, it will be kind of hard to kind of tell if it's a stud or a dud, at least as far as the upgrade is concerned. By the way, I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons, Urim Hopkins. Thank you so much for contributing to the success of this independent channel and becoming a part of my Patreon community, the only place where you can watch me live. So thank you so much to Urim and the rest of my Patreons. I really appreciate it if you want to join. Boom, patreon.com/eForElectric. The link is also in the description of this video. All right, guys, let me know. Are you going to be reservation holders for Model Y? If so, are you switching from Model 3? Are you the first-time owners, or you're going to be switching from another electric car, Tesla? Let me know in the comment section. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.